Hi guys, how's remote work been for you? It's been 3 to 4 weeks since this whole thing started. I'm sure by now you will have gotten into some sort of routine. But of course, things can always be better, and that's why we are going to share on some of the practical lessons that we have picked up along the way to help make remote working that much easier. If you like the kind of content that we're sharing, or you would like to keep up to date about what we're doing, please join us in our group Work is Dead. It's available on Facebook, and that's where we'll post all our latest tips, tricks, and anything else to help make remote work, a remote career, a reality. Okay, so one of the biggest things, right, when working in the past was about connecting different apps, because there are more and more apps coming out every day. Off the top of my head, I can just think of three right away that you will have to use in order to have a end-to-end knowledge management platform. For example, you will want Asana for your project management. You will want your HubSpot for your CRMs, and of course, you will have Slack to streamline your communication. So how then do you manage all three platforms? Because you want information across all three to be accurate. So one of the biggest headaches, especially for someone in sales, right, is whenever a new lead comes in. When a new lead comes in, I first have to go onto Asana, create a new project, track it properly so that it's easier to hand off to the project manager once the deal is closed. I have to go on HubSpot to manage my own communication with the client, and so that anybody else can jump in at any moment and know exactly which stage the deal is at. This for pipeline, and of course, I have Slack for everyday communication about work stuff, so that we don't lose it in the mass of WhatsApp messages that we have. So that means that every time a new deal comes in, I have to log into three different platforms to input the same information to make sure that I then get started tracking it. That's just to get started, not even on the updating portion. So that has been a real headache for me until Felix, my boss, introduced me to Zapier. Okay, I can't stress this enough how important this knowledge management is, especially in today's world where we are not working in a physical space anymore. We are not just looking our shoulder and tapping someone if we don't know anything. Knowledge management is that important because you want to be able to catch up, to clear any roadblock on the go without having to without having to reach out to anyone and disturbing their day. Okay, so Zapier, let's get into it. Zapier basically is a free to use software. You don't have to pay for the premium model unless you want some of the premium workflows. I've been surviving on the free plan. Uh, it's been working fine for me. Basically, what it says is that it will connect your apps and automate your workflows. It's easy automation for busy people, and more importantly for me, it's easy automation for people that are not tech savvy like me. Okay, I don't know coding, I don't know anything, but I would like it for once if all the details for my clients are inserted for me without me having to physically type anything at all. Okay, so that's where I landed on Zapier. So let's look at how it works. So how Zapier works is that it actually has partner apps on its platform already. It has about 2,000 over apps that is working with, which have published their APIs on the platform. Whenever you're creating a Zap, you are taking an app that as a trigger. When that app does an action, the corresponding software that you want to capture the information gets triggered, and then that follows up with an action. Okay, so that in itself is called a Zap. Like I mentioned earlier, Zapier has 2,000 over software, so it's really useful for you to just come on here, look through some of the softwares, because, for example, if you haven't even had a pipeline management software yet and you're just thinking of which one to use, it will be that much easier if it already has a Zap available, because that means that you don't have to spend time trying to automate that particular portion of the workflow. Okay, and since that many people are using Zapier, if the app is certified, it means that there's a demand for this app, which probably means that this app is that much better. Okay, so let's sign in right now, see how things are going. So you don't have to actually create an account in the traditional sense, like typing your name and whatnot. I mean, no website does that now. Just go to connect with your Google. If you have a G Suite, your company account should be in there. I'm connecting with my company account now. Once I do, I'm logged in. Don't have to do anything else. Everything is being put from Google. Okay, once you get on here, if you don't know where to start, there are some popular workflows that you can make use of down here, such as notifying your team about new leads. So when you click on here, right, this is a workflow that people have requested for. When you click on it, it tells you which app, which software people are using to do this. So it gives you a very good idea of what's in the market today. If you are very clear about what you're doing, what you want, all you have to do is to select the connection. So for me today, I'm going to make a Zap. Now, before this whole thing, what I've done is I've created a Google form. And I'm going to use this to simulate an inquiry form that's going to be available on, let's say, your website. Okay? So what I do is I want to connect my Google form. And every time there's a new response in this spreadsheet, I want to know. I want to get a trigger. I want to know I have to call the client now so that I don't miss out on them. So this is what I'm doing. I'm selecting the Google form, putting in my account, click on continue. When I do that, all the forms that I've created comes up. I'm able to select the one that I want to use, test Zap. Inside there, if let's say you have different tabs, different worksheet, you can even specify which particular form you're looking at. And once you're done, click on continue. The app does a test to see whether any of this data is flowing through. So for example, if today in my spreadsheet there's no data at all, it will come back to tell me there's no data, and that's where you have to put in a test data, okay, in order to connect. So I want to connect this to my Asana. Okay, so how am I connecting this? Now let's go back to my event interest. Submit a response. Assuming today I'm submitting a response for XYZ company. And POC is me, of course, my number. And I'm doing a dinner and dance with a budget of 50K. Click on submit. My response has been recorded. In Zapier, you can choose to create a new task every time a new response has been recorded. So I'm going to create a task out of my Real Get Out for my Asana account. Continue. Make sure that my credentials are all correct. Customize the task. So what this means is that I get to choose the workspace that I want to create this in. The project I want it to go to, which I would love for it to go to new inquiries. I want it to go under the call client type. And for its name, I prefer to use the company name followed by the point of contact name. So click on show more options here, select the POC name. Okay, for the note segment, I want it to contain all the content. And I want this to be due on tomorrow. You don't even have to specify any date. Basically, I want this to be due every time a new inquiry comes in. I want it to be due tomorrow. I have to call the client within the 24-hour time frame. I assign it to myself. And that's about it. If you have any followers you want to add to the task, you can do it here. Tag it to anything you want. If not, just click on continue. The system will do a check to make sure all the data are flowing in accurately. Once you click on connect, it will tell you that your Zap is done. See how long it took me to do that? No time at all. There's no coding required. It's so idiot-proof. It brings you step by step all through the way. Now if I go back to Real's task today, you will see that a task has been assigned to me for the new inquiry that came in. Okay, it's assigned for tomorrow. Formatting, of course, can be done up along the way. You can choose to change this to suit whatever you need. But at least now, I know whenever the new inquiry is being submitted, I won't miss out on it by having to refer to my email. None of that. More importantly, once this is created with the exact same way that I created this Zap, I can create one for my HubSpot as well. I can use that to create a channel in my Slack. So there's no way that I'm missing out anything down here. Okay, all I have to do is make sure that I follow up promptly on all of them. It's as simple as that. Okay, so that is Zapier for you. It's really simple, really easy to use. And what I hope is that this will help you to connect your workflows such that you won't have to keep switching screens, okay, in order to get one task done. If you're a manager today, please think about it. If you're a worker as well, if this solves your pain point, you should think about how it can streamline your workflow, because the last thing you want is to waste all your time and effort on putting in data, in doing all this data entry work, and you end up with no value at the end of the day, or with no time left to do what you should be doing, which is closing the deal. Okay, I hope that this came in time for you to help solve your struggles, to help your work from home experience be better. Knowledge management is always an important part of any workflow. Use this chance to brush up on it, to look at how you can make things easier in the longer run. Once again, if you like my video, if you feel that this is helpful for you, let me know in the comments. If you have any other challenges you're facing currently and you would like to know what other solutions there are out there, feel free to drop it in the comment inside our Facebook group, and we will be happy to produce a video to guide you along the way. Thank you so much for your time. I'll see you again.